Hello and welcome everyone. It's time for one Nioh, as it was always with the rest during the rest of the week, as you know. So we are playing more Nioh. We have a bit of a few things to do, I would say. So let's go. So yeah, this is the temple where Oda Nobunaga died. And we have Instant Kodama! Hello! I absolutely adore when games just hide something like, you know, oh, you turn around or you turn take a sharp left or right. Boom! Hey, Red Seraph! How are you doing? How's everything going? Welcome to another round of Nioh. In the shrine that froze over where Oda Nobunaga died. Definitely no connection here, none at all. I mean, a bit tired as well, but like, it's warm, you know. Constantly have over 20 degrees right now, and at least you know, during the heat wave that is coming now, it's only going to be up, you know, 24 degrees to 28 degrees, but still hot. Like, Ed killed me yesterday, and there's a shrine over there. And, yeah, today we also had some, experiences with heat, aka, oh, well, one second. Basically, Agonia had, I know how it's called in English, circulatory collapse. It's like just, you know, basically heart raced, dizzy, couldn't stand up, just not the nice stuff. So yeah, everyone out there, stay safe. It can be very can be very bad, yeah. We have methods of cooling down, so, you know, it's manageable, but, like, yeah, drink a lot. Like, actually drink a lot. I know it is almost a meme of, you know, oh, hey, hydrate. And, like, yeah, hydrate a lot. Genuinely important. Yeah. Yeah, it's like this, you know, being resistant to heat is one thing. Like, I'd say depending on the activity, I probably stomach heat better than Ionia, but still, like, you never know when you hit your limit until it's too late, and that is the thing you need to be aware of. And that's why it's always like, oh, hey, you know, maybe I can take it, you know. It's fine. I'm not feeling bad. As of now, I'm like, yeah, but it can deteriorate really, really fast. Okay. we go. There we go. Ah, yes. And we are back. Here. Nice. But yeah, kind of ironic. It's heat of summer, we're playing an ice level. I mean, it has to be done. Oh yeah. Reminds me that I should probably increase some prestige levels again. Hello. Kodama. Always be on the lookout for Kodama. Kodama! Oh, no, nope. Yeah, she's really cool. Just doing the ice punts again, I see. Yeah, understandable. Okay, we killed those. Let's see what we have still here. Okay, okay. Exploration is key after all. Well, not key, Amrita, but yeah. So, let's actually get a bit more progress on the level. Perfect. Still going up in spirit. Nice. Yeah, for everyone who doesn't know yet, plan is to get 15 spirit, so all the all the spirit levels are unlocked. So, you know, the Guardians are actually pretty good and do their job. And it's gonna be important. So, let's see where... yeah, like, if you can say one thing, then I think this engine definitely had some problems with ice and snow. It feels the most fake as of now. Go. Okay. There's a shrine, but there's no Kodama over here. Okay. Okay. You should have actually... I wish I streamed a bit of Alpha, Nioh 3 Alpha, but... I mean, sadly, it's not on PC, so, you know... If you have to test it on PC though, I go. They have weasel like okay, the targeting just almost killed me. Thanks a lot. Yeah, they have flying weasels. They're very cute. Like, the point is that if you go through the world, you hear some bell ringing sometimes, and then you can look around, and then you see the weasels floating up around, and then you can shoot them with an arrow, and then they land, and then you can pet them, and then you get bonuses, and it's very cute, and it's actually really great. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's again it's one of those things where I feel like people when I hear people say, "Oh, the alpha, didn't win me over," and like, what the fuck is wrong with you all? And they're like, "Oh, the world is too big," and like, no, like, it's so weird what people think as too big in open world games versus, oh hey, this is just very average size. Like, you have some, yeah, like, you can spend time in there. Like, a long time. Like, you can actually spend a decent amount of time in it, but like, I don't know, what would you have? A giant fuck off open world, or like, oh hey, here's a sizable area where you can spend some time, do some stuff, and it will take you a bit, and then you can just move on and do something else. But apparently the later is still too much for some people. Yeah, the weasels are very cute. I made some pictures. I do not know how I could get them from the PS5 over, though. Oh! Huh. Like, that's the weird part, right? A while ago, like a bit ago, it was still like, oh yeah, you know what? I could just send it to social media, but then you can't do that anymore because the fucking website that this whole fucking feature of, oh yeah, you can just share your gameplay and pictures onto it with like one button press. It is so shit now, they disabled it. Okay. What was that? Okay. Well, at least I can pick it up and put my save point a bit nearer this time. This is a joke. Basically, I just want to pick up my guardian spirit, set a new save point, but every time I get to that area, some dumb shit happens after I pick it up, so I die again and have to run the way all the way over again. Nope. There we go. Just you wait, Shrine. Oh, you're right there. Yeah, otherwise, slow day. Played a bit of a private round of Vicky 3. Lots of funny stuff happened, actually. Like, it's one of those moments where you wish you'd actually show to everyone else, because you had stuff like, okay, so basically, France had an interesting succession thing, because they had a revolt, and the country was split in two. So it was the French Empire of Orléans against a Bonapartist revolution that was actually led by Bourbon legitimists. Yes, I don't know either. It's wow, France. Good job of creating an absolute clusterfuck of ideologies. Much of history. Wow, France. Yes. Now, though, first things first. I will save here, so I don't have to run all the way over again. So that happened. I'm still working. Still doing a few other things. We also had how's it called? Oh yeah, Britain fought the Iron Confederacy and lost. I hate this. I'm just... So, I do wish the Iron Confederacy would actually, you know, maybe become a fully organized country after that. Would be cool, but yeah, big parts of Canada are just controlled by the natives now, because Britain was shit. Okay. Britain also made an amazing gamble by just stop being Britain. I know, shocking, but okay. Nope. But yeah, they actually made the amazing decision to not be Britain anymore and become Greater Manchester. God! Why do I fumble this one? But yeah, they're Greater Manchester. They were Greater Manchester. Are Greater Manchester? It's a weird situation. There we go. They're not fighting you now. Yep. Wait. Oh, you. Okay. Okay, so now time to go through all of this a little bit more relaxed. Something was over here. Oh, hello. Is this red or yellow? Nah, it was. There we go. Actually, why not? Why shouldn't I level up now? So yeah, at least now it's getting a bit colder. You know. Dama! Sadly, the cats are only next game. Oh, well, not only next game, they're also in the third, gladly. But, you know, only from the next game onwards. So... Ooh. Hello. Any hidden Kodamas? No. 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 Well then, let's get you. Let's get you two back. Try to be sneaky here, but yeah, that didn't work out. Well, oh well. Oh yeah. You know, currently still catching up on some shows since, you know, our Doctor House rewatch is now done. Mainly doing Andor now, and god damn it, that show is really good still. But like, Okay, we have our way around here. Let's check again for some Kodamas. But yeah, Under is really good so far. We are like halfway through. Did like the first 2 years of the show. I love how stuff builds up, but like it kept me thinking about one thing, you know? There's always this thing online that's floating around when people talk about shows like Andor that's like, oh yeah, you know, it might be good, but ultimately it's worthless because, you know, capitalism always reabsorbs, you know, resistance into its own media and stuff. And I just sit there being like, it's kind of impressive that this thing is just seen as gospel when it's not really true. Like, I mean, here's the thing. There is the thing that capitalism will commercialize every aesthetic it deems profitable. That also means, you know, for example, when, for example, the whole, I think Che Guevara picture came out and was printed everywhere. Yeah, obviously that became a thing that people now associate with, you know, that was put on so many t-shirts and such. Like, I think it's interesting that people look at shows, or, you know, media like Andor that is definitely published under capitalists and goes, oh yeah, there will be no real radicalization coming from that. And I just like, are you sure about that? Because I think that might be the biggest, like, capitalism itself isn't like a big, you know, controlled authoritarian, you know, machine. Ironic, because like, I don't think Disney is like thinking about, oh hey, is Andor maybe a bit too revolutionary? They probably won't think that this applies to them in some form or someone else. If anything, right now, I would say a show like Andor is probably resonating. You know, they probably look at the numbers and like, oh wait, this is resonating for some reason. Let's make more of that. And I do wonder why a show keeps a show about, you know, fighting fascism keeps resonating with people at this time. But I don't think they, you know, it's always so interesting that people think there is. Now let's just put it more openly. The idea of the shadow government just keeps being around in so many circles. It's amazing. Like, you know, obviously, you know, from right-wing nuts, it's always the, oh, you know, it's always a version of the same old anti-Semitism. But like, I think in some left circles, the idea of, you know, capitalism doing things has also accumulated into some form of, there is some plan going on, and like, sometimes the situation is just easier, and you know, rebellious shows can definitely lead towards people getting radicalized in ways that, you know, the executives might be uncomfortable with, but they're stupid. Like, that's the thing, you know? Yeah, and it's like, listen, if you want to say you don't like Star Wars and just really hate the fact that, you know, a Star Wars show as of now is one of the better pieces of leftist media, just fucking say so. Don't come at me with like, oh, but it was made by the Disney Corporation, so somehow it will actually lead to... No, it won't. People will watch Andor and will also get radicalized because like, holy shit, they're like the first 6 episodes, just roughly, are about about how the Empire builds up antagonization through propaganda machine of a group of people to actually exploit their planet more effectively. I don't know. That will probably keep with some people in their mind when they watch the news. That's not something that will just be like, oh yeah, that's just fantasy or something. People like. There's not quite a coordinated effort behind everything. Individual companies pursuing profit uncoordinately, and if something making profit, usually at the truth. Yeah. And sure, I can also agree with the fact that, there is definitely, some companies where what is being shown is being censored, but also usually, said or altered. But usually, it's not in the class-conscious way that a lot of people online say it is. But yeah, on top of that, you also just have the fact that the part of this. Oh yeah, as soon as a piece of media critically comes from a big company, it will not have an impact on people. And it's like, what are you implying here? Because, I think one of the biggest brainworms a lot of people, who assign themselves to being leftists online have is thinking everyone else is kind of stupid. And a lot of people are stupid. They are stupid in their ways, mind you. But, I'm sorry, people do recognize when something is about, quite literally fighting fascism. Just saying. Also, just pointing out, a lot of the people that said that will probably say something like, oh yeah, but a show like fucking Gundam is made by a really big Japanese animation studio. The only difference you're currently doing is applying different standards. Just, God, people suck. And also, it's so funny how, again, it also loops back to the whole people not getting, there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. That is, that this also to a degree means, by the way, and I need to be very specific here, that if you actually, yes, you cannot, buy food or essential stuff without probably someone in the chain being exploited. That's a thing. You can't avoid that directly. I know. But, and this is a big but, this also means that if you want to produce things under capitalism, for example, media that is, that is actually reaching people, you also have to work with, together with some of the forces that hold the material power, because else you can't do that. Sure, you know what? Probably some kind of small indie comic out there is probably a lot more radical and teaches way better revolutionary action than Andor does. I don't know about it. And this isn't because, I'm not searching for them. I'm actually quite interested. Someone's like, hey, here's a great queer thing, or there's a great queer thing, or, revolutionary stuff. I know that they're out there, but, I don't know them. They don't have, they don't have the right publicity, the right advertisement. Something like Andor being put in front of millions of people that, for example, sometimes didn't even think about those topics, and then looping back to being like, okay, hey, and then just sometimes being like, oh wait, I can actually see something in that, you know? That also has value. Even if it was made by the Disney Corporation. To a degree, getting the message out is, in my opinion, just slightly more important than the, oh no, some rich guy might be getting a little bit richer in the process. Like, you still need to, you know, weigh the ups and downs. Like, yeah, sometimes it is just worse, obviously, but, you know, not always. Wait, I wanted to see how many Kodamas have I missed before I go into the boss. Oh well. Welcome to my leftist TED rant or something. I'm missing exactly one Kodama, damn it. Well, that's that then, I guess. Last look around. Kodama? Kodama? No. No Dama? Oh. No Dama. And then I have to live with that. Well. Oh, fuck. Hot. Anyway. I mean, she's very cool, but still. Also, you know, I just have something for women with a hemacut. It's just such a great hairstyle, you know? Yeah. You know, best with pitch black hair, in my opinion, but white, you know, orange, and a lot of other hair colors also work really well with it. It's just beautiful, you know? Okay. Fuck. Getting into rhythm though. Also, she's wielding a glaive, which is, again, also very hot. Glaives are very lesbian weapons. Like, you know? You see a girl swing that professionally, you know she can kill you. And that's hot. Especially when she has a hemocut. That means she's also professional. Okay, what is the window for the 3 icicles again to dodge? Or was it not to dodge? I forgot.
Dodge them and you can block them.
What?
You can dodge them or you can block them.
Yeah. Okay. Focus. Fuck. That step is hot though. I mean, that's you know, like the biggest sign someone is a lesbian. Murder is foreplay. getting there though. That's also the thing when you don't find another good sword. Like, my armor is good. My skills are getting better. I'm missing the sword. Hi, bot. And, bye, bot. No, hey.
Any problems?
Yeah, I mean the Yukiona is a difficulty spike, a slight one. Yeah.
Can do some damage. That's
Yeah. The thing is, she's basically the first humanoid yokai, real humanoid yokai, as in she's quick and has a lot of good attacks, and she can stab you. She's just really cool. Let's just put it like that. Oh god, I just said it.
you could try to reroll your foot armor or movement if it doesn't have it yet.
And this is when you feel so good, because yeah, you can have a few bad runs against the boss, but then you nail that one run where you actually thought of, you know, using your Spirit Guardian for once, but then you just nail that combo so well you don't need it anyway. Ah, this feels good. And yeah, my heart is racing a little bit, and that's amazing. Why is this fucking bee... UI, do not obscure her beautiful face. What are you doing there? There we go. God, her design is amazing. Like, yeah. Ah, yeah. Oh no, everything burns now.
節操天海と申す。安心様のことは福より伝え聞いております。ケリーなる者は今日の鬼門にあたる比叡山に向かい申した。ゆかりある場所ゆえ穴い差し上げましょう。
Seems you have some history with this place.
打ち明けられぬこともございますが、どうぞ怪しまれますな。
Well, but yeah, great boss though. And you know what? She's a dual boss refight. Yep. I'm not saying who she is with. You know, we will meet them soon enough. But yeah, no, she's in a dual fight. The Demon of Nioh and demon hunting. I mean, yeah, time to. Oh. I guess we are slowly going to do some side missions then. First of all, you know what? No. side mission first. Then let's see if I can get some better weapons out of there. There's an ancient saying in Japanese. What I thought was a ghost was merely dried grass, referring to the Suzuki grasses that turn a golden brown in the autumn months. The distinctive waving in the breeze is the source of their supernatural connotations, occasionally tricking observers into thinking they had seen a ghost. Suzuki grass is also sometimes used as a charm to ward off evil spirits. Well, what is it now? Oh hey, remember this one? The alpha of Nioh 3 definitely invoked this area. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be one-to-one the same area, actually. I need to check, but like, you also come up a hill, you know, with the grass, but then, you know, it's just, oh, there is a world for you to explore over there, around there, and it's like, oh, that's cool. Do 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 do. Yeah. Oh well. Sorry if I can't talk a lot right now. Where's my dog? Where's my fucking dog? Why is it over here? That's such a simple level, but it has this interesting claustrophobia feel, I would say. That's where I'm coming from. Oh god, I totally forgot you fucker was here. There we go. It's just the first real boss. You know, at this point I should be able to kill an Onryoki. There we go. Ah, progress. Yeah, quick and easy mission. And a level, I think. So, perfect. There we go. Spirit on 13, nice. Spider-Man needs help. I mean, he is actually a Spider-Man, yes. Yes, spiders. Oh well. Spider-Man. A comic that gave us endless memes and also the inability to talk over people who just really like spiders. Then again, the best Spider-Man meme is still, you know, the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other. Like, honestly, two equal looking things just, you know, meeting each other randomly. It happened way too many times in human history, actually. Like, it was even... Okay. There we go. Hey, Claire. Yeah.
気負っておかげで我らは
Yeah, I actually beat her. You're a bit late. How are you doing? Oh yeah, the pointing at each other meme too many times in history. Like, oh god, like, do you remember? Okay, do you know the story of the two boats in World War One? So, actually, this is kind of hilarious. So, basically all nations in World War One were like, let's do a little bit of war criming, basically. And Germany had a great idea. What if we, take one of our ships? And you see, the thing was, British vessels usually had two exhaust towers on top, and the Germans had three. So they removed one of those exhaust towers, like the center one, and painted the ship to look like a British merchant vessel, with the idea of, oh look, it can... it can get close, and then it can just attack with some hidden guns the British ships. What a devious plan, right? So, a few years later, this ship actually meets the ship it imitates in front of, I think... Oh, but where was it again? The British... The British literally also put guns on the ship the Germans were trying to imitate by chance, and both ships met and were like, what the fuck is going on? Why is there a ship that looks exactly like us? And they had a fight. It's just so stupid, and it happened. So yeah, there were two ships trying to fool the other side into getting a bit too close with hidden guns to sink the other one. To sink. Basically, the Brits disguised their ship to get submarines and German boats to come close and shoot them. While the Germans wanted to make a disguised ship that could get close to the merchant ships. Yeah, both ships met. The British one won, by the way, just so you know. But yeah. This definitely is one of those this is stupid moments in history. So, hope you also survived the heat, Claire. It's currently really bad here. Oh well, it's getting worse, but still. Well, yeah, we also heard that the expected peak of the heat wave is on Wednesday here, but yeah. Also, major thing about that, at least it only is supposed to go up until up to 28 degrees here, but like, still, coastal area. I absolutely hate it, and that some of the idiots are always like, but there were always hot days in before, and like, not that many. Like, yeah, it's with literally that's insane. I mean, here's the thing, and I mean that. I've been in the Spanish summer once. It's actually survivable due to a few things the Spanish did. First of all, their buildings are made to be cool, which is something that we could also have. Okay, let's just put it like this. Technically, German buildings are really good at insulation. As in, they can actually keep heat in and keep heat out. The thing is just the keeping heat out part would require that we, did some things like, I don't know, here comes the Nioh repeat, install awnings. Because if you have shade and the heat doesn't come in, our rooms generally stay pretty cool. Also, if you would have installed heat pumps everywhere, I don't know, that would maybe lead to the fact that we could then, in the summer, actually pump the heat out. Oh yeah. Like, that's the thing. The mistake German houses have is simply we're too stubborn to install actual, stuff like awnings and ACs. That's it. Like, when I met my parents, you need to realize they have like two balconies to the south side, and there isn't actually an awning they can put up, pull out on the upper balcony where so they actually have big glass fronts there. I mean, I fucking lived in that room, and the thing is, if you actually pull down the outer shades, like the really thick ones that we have, that room stays cool. I mean, it's dark, but it stays cool. If you put up the awning, it also stays cool, because turns out if the sun doesn't hit your room, it stays cool. Wow, thermodynamics again. I think it's just if you're so yeah, that's the thing. Pretty nice there. It's not that hot. And then you can still do stuff like, I mean, okay, you know, that's the part with, you know, being in an old region of Bavaria. We have beer gardens and like, hey, what is that? A place where you can go with shade, where you can get drinks and some light things to eat. And it's actually really nice to be out there. Again, that's the thing. Battling the heat, I mean to accept, you know, we can say that, you know, we are not yet Spain. Thank God. But like, just to put it into perspective, in the 70s, 70s to 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, the average amount of hot days during the summer, like days that went above 30 degrees even in the shade, was 2. 2. Across the whole country. 2. Now the average is 10. Yeah, it's 10 days of brutal heat. That is not normal. But hey, it was always warm apparently. Yeah, keeping blinds down, good. It's just what I say, we should install more awnings everywhere. We need to install more awnings. We actually need to install AC/heat pumps. Because again, the thing is, because our housing has such good insulation, we ironically do not. You know, we actually do not need the big amount of, oh, hey, the biggest heating or something. Like, heat pumps are already insanely efficient. But like, oh yeah. Actually well-insulated houses, yeah, they're even more efficient. And so yeah. That's the thing. We could. And, but also, as I said before, having actually good third places, you know, during heat waves, that's another different topic that people do not want to tackle as much, I think. enemies just become kind of annoying because it's just so much damage.
してはならん。我ら身の最高のために。
There we go. Damn. We need awnings, we need heat pumps, we need a lot, but like, I mean, yeah, Britain you need actually a lot more. Mainland Europe? That's the thing. Yep. Oh, yeah, no, let's do this one first then. Oh, hello.
どうされた？まだ勝負はついておりませんので。
Oh, fuck. Small side boss. Yeah, the thing is... yeah, like, I mean, ironically, British houses are just bad. Like, that, you're right. I still remember when people were like, oh, you know, but British houses are designed to, you know, stay warm during winter. And then someone just put a statistic up of, you know, how much heat, is retained by buildings on average in a country. And let me tell you, holy shit, you're like the worst houses. It's just like, no, it's just bad. They're not designed. Like, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Every country wants to have an explanation for why the houses are like that.
修行が足りぬようですな。
yeah, sorry, I just... do I really want to fight this guy now constantly? I wish I could just put on another main mission, but the main mission will probably take too long. Yeah. No, the thing is, like, every country has a thing and how they design the houses, okay? And the thing is that a lot of times it's just the fact that the reason why houses are built they are in a country is not nice. And I can tell you because I know why houses are like that in Germany. See, the thing that happened is simply... okay, by the way, I'm just... how can I leave this mission? Not return to title screen, I would say. Where do you leave a mission again? There. No. Not in the right mindset right now. Like, you know, I'm more durable to heat apparently, but you know, had my fair share of stuff to deal with today. I know more like, you know, I was still a bit exhausted. Not, you know, not as with Agonia, who had like is it circulatory collapse in English?
Well, if it is, it didn't collapse completely.
It didn't collapse completely, but it was still not good that you were just out of commission and I had to take over. Basically, yeah, like, she wanted to take a shower and basically what happened, she just, heart racing, you know, I think you had it where dizzy and just couldn't stand up, like, I mean, upside, she was in the shower. I could, you know, help her, you know, wash her hair and stuff while she sat down, and, you know, cold water is pretty good at getting everything back up running again, but still, it was definitely not nice. I can tell you that. That's just, it's just again, watch out. It's really hot out there. Like, she's okay now. Right now, you know, in bed, relaxing a bit. It's all fine on that end.
Yeah. I'm fine.
You're fine. And I'm glad you are fine, because else I'd be like, eh. Yeah, a little bit worried, I would say. But yeah, just be aware of the heat. Like, it's not nice. Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna try that fucker again until I come back with a bigger sword. It's like, the one-on-one fights are cool, but some of the humans are just like absolute tanks. And at that point, it's just not that fun, you know. Like, so there are boss fights that are really fun, and just some that are tedious, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just coming back with more DPS later. If something is a DPS check, I'm just like, yeah, no, DPS check, I will do that later. When I can do it. But yeah, no, she's fine. She's fine. I took care of that. Okay, like, it's not like, you know, my girlfriend can collapse the shot. I'm like, whatever. That's not my problem. It is very much my problem. So, Yeah. So otherwise, I'm missing one Kodama here. I will go in there though with a Kodama radar later. And I think afterwards we are in the last region? I don't know. But yeah, it's... it is what it is. Just actually stay safe there. But yeah, the thing is, a lot of countries, and that's the thing, when people come at me like, oh no, our houses are designed to... Listen. The majority of houses, unless there is a very specific need to do it like that, are designed to be cheap. Except when there's regulation. And I know that because I know houses built before regulations here in Germany, like in the 60s, 70s, where, you know, people started being like, hey, maybe we should have some strong regulations on how a house should be built and what kind of windows you can actually put in. Yeah, because like, for example, the school where I went to, some old buildings still had old windows. The renovated ones, yeah, you know what? They could stay pretty, like, actually they could stay pretty, you know, cool in the summer. It was actually pretty nice. And even then, sometimes it was just like, yeah, you just had to get a fan up and such. But like, yeah, it was doable because, you know, and also it stayed warm in the winter. And like, just to be clear here, there was heavy snowfall in that region. So like, it got cold. But if you were in one of the old houses, well, you know what you got? You got windows made from wood with some paint over it. One, you know, one sheet of glass, and then there was a little bit of a gap, and another similar window. This was the old method. And it was literally just there because it got really cold in the winter. And modern windows just fucking beat them all the time. In every regard. So yeah. Old buildings kind of sucked. And that's really why nowadays we can at least say, hey, we wouldn't need to do a lot. Like, hey, we just got 4 billion. How much will it cost to give every single house in the country free heat pumps? Just so, like, honestly, a free heat pump in this building, I would love it. I would just turn it on in the summer, I cool down, and I do not care. Also, just put some fucking awnings up, like, make them mandatory. Seriously. Yeah, that's it. Everything else, Britain, your houses were built to be cheap because you needed housing to house the labor force. And so what did they do? They took, you know, the cheapest construction material they could have en masse, which was bricks in your case, and they built a bunch of brick houses in a way that, you know, that was neatly arranged along a street. And so you had a lot of houses that looked very similar because that was the cheapest way to build a lot of houses. And a lot of stuff was built in retroactively. Hell, your houses are so cheap that to this day people are like, it's just a common thing in Britain to have one tap for hot water and one tap for cold water. And everywhere else in the you know, in the world, everyone is going, what the actual fuck is that for a shit show? And you're like, yeah, you can drink the hot water because it's a tank, and you know what? It's hot water, but it's also contaminated 100%. That's not good design. That's just cheap design. And then told people it's just a cultural difference. No! if you legislated that shit to be illegal and be like, hey, people have to change that, it would change. And in a few years, no one would be like, oh, that's a weird thing to do. Because it's absolutely nonsensical bullshit. It's like literally people are here like, oh, like, you know what's also a big difference? I know that because, you know, people, I talked with that a few times with people from, you know, America or so. They're always like, oh, wait, you, why are you drinking tap water? And the answer is, why not? And then you realize, oh yeah, wait, water isn't regulated in the USA. So drinking tap water is just a coin toss, mostly a negative one. But while here, water quality is so good, it's stupid to buy water. Companies literally have to gaslight people into believing bottled water is better than tap water. And you know what's the funniest part about that is? The bottled waters, you know, there are some old, some old companies that actually sell natural, sparkly water. That's just a fake, like, Germany is, like, actually addicted to that stuff, and I get it. But also, the rest, it's just carbonized tap water, who cares? And then you know what's one of the most popular things in this country? Owning a machine that sparkles your water. We don't have one. I actually do want one, just to be clear here. And you know what? We have a whole, and I kid you not, there is a whole logistical chain, because you're like, wait, how do you do that? The answer is, so there are basically gas cartouches that you put in the back, you screw them in, and, you know, they have CO2 in them. And you put that CO2 in your water. Cool. But when it's empty, there are certain shops where you can hand that one in for recycling and you get a new one. Yeah, there's a whole logistics chain so the Germans can actually sparkle their water at home. So we over-engineer everything, and it's good. It's good. I really should get one at some point. You know, similar to a fucking what's it called? Air fryer. Everyone says it's great. Hell, my mom bought one and she's like, yeah, this one's great, you should also have one. Okay, everyone, I get it. We have some trend that actually is useful. Thank you. Maybe I need to get one. Should probably be a bigger one. Or should you need an air fryer? Oh my god, not you too, Claire. Yes, I need an air fryer. I know. I heard it's the best. I can make fish sticks in them and other stuff. Fries, I guess. I guess you can make fries. God, I heard so many stuff you can make in the air fryer. And apparently it's amazing. But you know what I also want? And probably they're not expensive now. I know. But you know what I will get first? Next month, when I actually convince Agonia that this is something we should have, because it's not that big and we should have one, an egg cooker. Yes, you heard right. Egg cooker. I know. Asian people have their rice cookers. Germans, we perfected cooking eggs. Oh, no. You have no idea how much eggs we eat and how much that would just absolutely improve our way of life. Okay, actually, yes. Probably I should just get a good air fryer with, like, some good capacity, and then I can just actually make some tasty food with it. That's true. I totally agree with that. But also, what does it even do? It cooks eggs.
Didn't Lena post a very, very long and representation of German egg?
It's true.
Engineering?
Actually, you know what? Yes, I still have that. Wait a second. Can I open that somehow? Yeah. There it is. I think it's Tumblr or so, but, like, yeah. do I have... Da, 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 da. No! Nah, okay, you know what? An egg cooker that boils the eggs. What the fuck? Like, you have no idea what is perfect engineering. Like, actually, I saw one. It even can poach eggs, and it would be so fucking good. Like, imagine you can just poach eggs on demand and, like, put it on noodles or just, you know, on a burger or, like, a sandwich. That would be so... Anyway, you know, I am currently looking into how I can open this one or show to you, but I think ironically the best method will just be hello paint. Holy shit, that actually works. That actually works perfectly. Okay, so this is like, this is a thing which just happens. Before cooking an egg, do you poke a little hole into the shell? No, why would I? No, I know the reason people do it, but I don't do it. Yes, obviously. Yes, I know. I don't really know why though. Other press button don't like eggs vegan, slot my eggs raw, vanilla extract tags. Before I crack them open, before you put them in here. Welcome to German engineering. So, just, you know what? Let's just go this down with you. Enjoy the fact how German we are. Right here. The water cup comes in with a little needle at the bottom for hole poking purposes. I know. So, like, that's true. They are there. So, like, you know, basically the, it says, hey, you need that much water for, you know, this many eggs, or, you know, if you want to have the eggs, you know, gooey, or if you want them well done, you know, that's how much water you need. By the way, if you're wondering how these things work, they're steamers. You put water in, it's, you know, you set how you want your eggs, and it steams the egg to perfection. Like, by the way, Asians do that in the right when they put eggs in the rice cooker, but we have egg cookers. And fun fact, so my grandparents actually still have probably, like, egg pokers, like specific egg pokers that you just put down. They're like small, like basically they have an indenture where you put in the egg and press down, like kind of like this. You just press down and then the needle come egg. How many eggs do you eat? Okay, you know, okay. So we power through like a 12 pack in a week. No, sorry, 20 pack.
And we're not that high for Germans.
We're really not that high for Germans, but yeah, the thing is, you poke, you know, a hole in there because, as you know, there's this little air part, in the bottom, and if you, so nothing runs out. But if you poke a hole in there, the egg doesn't explode when it's getting cooked through. So pretty amazing. So yeah, egg cookers. You see, we have round ones, we have square ones, we have small ones, wide ones. We just have a lot of them. And again, the one I want to have actually has like an insert where you can just poach eggs with them. It's like, yeah, it's like a toaster and an electric kettle had a baby, and the baby boils eggs. It's a specifically German thing. Yeah, and also the thing is, without an egg cup, the egg just wobbles. It sucks. It's bad. But if you have an egg cup, you can just put an egg in, and it just is perfectly upright, and you can, you know, cut the head off and eat the egg. It's the perfect addition to a breakfast table. And yes, we have them. Like egg, you need egg egg cups. You can just eat eggs with them. It's perfect. Like, you see? And you even have this little indenture on the side, so you can put like, you know, your spoon there, or if something runs down. Egg and soldiers like every day. What is egg and soldiers? We just have egg on toast and such. So like, you know, or you know, you can put down the shells if you pull them off. Like you can put them there. So it's really convenient. Also, as you can see, we have these things. They're actually really cool because you know you put them on top of the egg. You pull the metal ball up, let it slide down, and then it makes a perfect circular ring crack around the egg, and you can just lift the top off, and it's perfect. Yeah, some people say it's an Eierköpfer, but actually the correct terminology is Eierschalen-Sollbruchstellen-Verursacher. So, I think this picture kind of sums up German egg culture a lot. We just like eggs. And the toast slices are the soldier. I mean, yeah, we have some bread and put some eggs on, but you know, you can also just eat the egg. Again, you make a soft-boiled egg, and you know, you cap it. You know, to put the top off, and you put some salt in. You eat another bit of salt. Eat another bit of salt. Eat. Some people put in Maggi. Totally understandable. It's just more MSG. It tastes actually pretty well. Some people put in soy sauce. These people are insane. But yeah, but as you can see, hard-boiled eggs, we have egg slicers, which is actually just really neat because, you know, it's literally just some wires, and you put in the egg, you press them down, perfect egg slices. If you want to have a perfect egg toast. No need for a shitty knife or, you know, squishing stuff. It's just perfect slices. Yeah, also, those are also very normal because, again, if you're making a Sunday breakfast, you need warm eggs. Why not just fried? Why not just fried? Here's the thing, Claire. I fry eggs. I love fried eggs. Absolutely adore fried eggs. Like, you know, fried in some good butter. You know, you put maybe in some garlic, you know, crushed garlic, maybe a little bit of rosemary, and then you baste it. Really delicious, absolutely perfect eggs, no question. But like, have you ever had a perfect soft-boiled egg? And again, so that they stay nice and warm, you know, so everyone can assemble at the Sunday breakfast table, we have knitted hats for them. And you put them on the egg, and the egg just stays warm. It's just obvious, you know, so you can have like the perfect egg breakfast, obviously. So yeah, what do you mean that's only German? I don't believe this. We are not the autistic egg country. All that is normal and necessary, and good breakfast eggs are divine. And it is true, and people just don't understand it. Like, again, we are over-engineering shit. But we're also correct. Just saying. Just saying. This was the egg detour. Just soy sauce. You shouldn't put all that just for a boiled egg. A perfect soft-boiled egg, Claire. Have you ever had a perfect soft-boiled egg? Where you can just spoon out the runny yolk with a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt with, herbs in it. Oh my god, that is pure fucking heaven. That's just how it is. And then, you know, then you take some bread and you cut it down into some slices and you toast those slices, and then you can put those slices into that slightly salted yolk, and then the yolk is just coating the really nicely toasted bread, and it's like I tell you, no country understands eggs as the Germans do. No country. We love eggs, and we perfected eggs. So yeah, sorry, egg cooker. That's mandatory. That's just a mandatory thing. Okay. And again, the one I looked at, it can poach eggs. Ever thought about that? Ever thought how much work you need to do to poach eggs? But no, there's just, you put in like this special rack, put in a bit of water, put a crack in your eggs, put it down, and it just perfectly gives you a poached egg. And you do not need to take out a pot. You don't need to warm up the water to the right temperature, that it's not boiling but it's not cool, and you don't need to splash in vinegar, and you don't need to swirl the water, and you don't need to perfectly put in the swirly egg, and you don't need to perfectly what's it called, put your egg through a strainer before that, so only the solid parts are in there, so there's no stringy things in the water, and then you don't need to poach that and take it out at the right minute and maybe harm it. You know what? That's worth $20 to do consistently. Especially if it gives you perfect boiled eggs all the time. Perfect boiled eggs. You can even make hard-boiled eggs, and you can put them on a toast and make like a perfect egg toast. Like, you hard boil them, and you don't need to have like a lot. Like, that's a thing. Egg cookers save water. Everyone boiling eggs is like, oh look, I need to fill this pot up, and it's like, you water waster. You can just put in a little bit of water. It steams through perfectly. Hard boiled egg. You can make egg salad. Just perfect egg salad. Or you can put the egg into potato salad. Again, really useful and great. Have I convinced you of the superiority of German egg eating?
Short answer is we just like eggs.
Yeah, we fucking love eggs, that's true. It's just everywhere. Like, I'm serious, like... My parents do it, my grandparents do it, my other grandparents did it, everywhere where I went. Like... And you know what the funniest part is? If you have an egg cooker, oh yeah, and you know what? We are actually converting people that live here. See, when I grew up, one of the people I hang out with came from a Vietnamese family. Guess what? They also had egg cookers because they were like, yeah, that's just more convenient. And like, booyah, booyah.
Integrated.
It's not integrated. It's, taken over. Like, Asian people are like, oh yeah, we have our rice cookers and we don't need extra stuff. But then they're like, wow, this little machine is perfect and just does the job. You don't ever need to care about eggs again. You can put eggs into anything now because you can just make eggs on the spot. And it's like, yes, yes. And you know what? Your fucking your air fryer can't do it. There is no egg fryer yet. Could you actually place like a metal insert into an air fryer and make it an egg fryer? Maybe. It could be doable. It's just, that's the thing. Don't you also like eggs, Claire? Fucking love egg. Maybe you should move to Germany and understand how great eggs are. I like them fried on sandwiches. I mean, honestly, fried eggs on sandwiches are great, but again, there are other ways of... Okay, I just have to ask this. How is the egg quality in Britain?
Shouldn't be that different, right?
I don't know. Because, we have a lot Yeah, we like here, fried into the eggs becomes a sweet spicy sticky coating. Yeah, not doing that here. It varies. Yeah, even at the discounter, you do not find eggs anymore from like you don't find eggs here from like poor conditions. You don't. It's just like the thing is Germans love eggs so much that the quality of eggs just has risen because the market was like, no, sorry, they stopped buying shitty eggs, so we just phased out bad eggs here. And so yeah, you can always get good eggs. Ooh, yeah, I can see that. When the orange yolk is really, the yolk is really orange, that's like the perfect eggs. Like there's also like a lot of local farmers in the rural areas that just sell eggs every morning. It's like, those are the best. Oh my god. So, yeah. That was a lot of egg talk. Damn. I am unsure if I soured or improved the image of my country.
It's just a country.
Yeah, fair point. But our culture is okay. That's also actually an interesting thing. Egg love is universal. You need to keep in mind we have a lot of different cultures in Germany. That all have their different things they prefer. From what to put on breakfast. How what the specific local dishes are, etc. But like literally one thing that everyone loves is eggs. Like that was the love for eggs. Last time I talked about, on Wiki 3, I talked about how the GDR basically gave Vietnam the biggest coffee, the second biggest coffee plantations in the world, just to supply themselves with coffee before collapsing. Anyway, another thing they had to build up was the fact that people loved fucking eggs. Oh yeah. I mean, in the beginning they were like, do you really need eggs? And then the answer was, sir, the people actually want eggs. And then the GDR was like, fuck, let's actually mass produce eggs. And then they were like, shit, we're sitting on so many eggs. Everyone, can you maybe take more eggs, please? We overproduced eggs.
That's the problems you ran into with a managed economy without many computers.
Yeah, I mean that's what Sheila solved, but
yeah,
and just increasing the data amount. But like that was generally the biggest problem they just had in a lot of the managed economies. They just were like the first reaction was, hey, can we just solve the problem with propaganda? And then the answer was no. And then they were like, can we solve the problem just half-heartedly? And the answer is no. And then you're like, fuck. What next? And the answer is usually delay it and then realizing, shit, you need to do something, then overproduce it, and then just being like, fuck, what are we going to do? If the GDR stayed around for a few years longer, I swear, they probably would have turned Cuba into like the biggest fruit exporter in the world. Or something like that. it is still so fucking funny how they got a whole political problem because Konrad Adenauer had an obsession with bananas. This is just Okay, actually, that's a very funny story as well. Oh yeah, okay. German history that is really stupid. Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. There is this saying in German, basically, that in the East you didn't have bananas. You never had them, and this was partially true. Again, similar to how coffee was like, most countries that produced coffee during the Cold War, where in the Western aligned sphere, there was just not a lot of USSR aligned countries that produced a lot of fruit, and or at least exotic fruits. That's the key part, and while with coffee, it was in the end they were just like, let's just spam coffee plantations in Vietnam and then collapse before we can actually get our share of the harvest. Oops. The thing that happened was after the GDR and the how is it called in English? Or East and West Germany were founded. Basically what happened was that West Germany had Konrad Adenauer elected as chancellor, who was just like more of a, we needed someone, they could just, they could agree on this guy, and this is also, by the way, why, fun fact, this is why the capital of West Germany was Bonn, and you're like, why is it Bonn, why isn't it Frankfurt, why isn't it Hamburg? They actually thought about making it Hamburg or Cologne, but the thing is, they put it in Bonn because, and I kid you not, Konrad Adenauer was out of the region, and he was old, and he was like, listen, I'm gonna do the job if you put the capital near where I live. That's why it's Bonn. I kid you not, that's the reason. Anyway, yeah, history is stupid, and I love it. So basically what happened is the fact that he was kind of, there was the whole, economic upturn, and then the East also had an economic upturn, so that was actually a pretty big thing. The problem is just, basically, Konrad Adenauer had this whole, he really loved bananas, and he made an effort to show, oh hey, we've become prosperous again because we can actually import exotic fruits. Because keep in mind, back during that day, bananas were not really that widespread in Europe, because compared to America, in America you could just the shipping routes from Central or South America are pretty short, and you can spread them around pretty easily. Europe, not so much. You have to cross the whole Atlantic, and they have to stay fresh during the whole transportation, etc., etc., etc. Now, what happened though was, there were a lot of more local European foods. So like, this isn't that East Germany didn't have fruits. Quite the opposite, actually. The thing is just they didn't have exotic fruits, and this wasn't even planned. They just, Adnan was just like, look, we can import bananas en masse. We have returned to a prosperous country that can just have the luxury of importing fruits from around the world, because, he fucking liked bananas. So here's also the thing you need to keep in mind. East and West Germany was a very peculiar situation, because both were very close to each other, and so that actually meant that East Germans, except if you lived in like Saxony at the Polish border or so, the most racist part, you actually could just watch West German TV and listen to West German radio, because those frequencies, like those were radio frequencies, you know. Everyone could just tune into those. When also, by the way, it's basically Saxony and not Brandenburg, because Berlin is still in Brandenburg. And guess what? They broadcasted directly out of Berlin. So, like, Brandenburg still had coverage, even though, you know, it's actually bigger and more rural than Saxony. Saxony just got the short end of the stick. Anyway, the thing is, basically, then the whole other country that understood that language, like, you know, for example, I could actually get French TV where I lived. But, you know, understanding French TV is harder because different language. GDR, not so much. They also spoke German. So they just suddenly saw how the West German was like, we have bananas. And so everyone went to their local store and was like, you have bananas? And then everyone was like, no, we don't have bananas. Or, you know, we just have a few bananas, because no one expected there to be a craze about bananas. Because the thing is, the moment they realized that, you know, there are not a lot of bananas, it became a thing people sought after. Then they were like, shit, how do we solve that? They were like, you can also eat oranges. And people were like, oh, so you want to not eat as the special fruit, are you? Is that the case? And so this just became a whole political issue, because it was also just a really hard problem to solve. And I don't mean that in the sense of, you know, like, I don't even mean that in the sense of, you know, politically. It was actually just a logistical problem, as in, you know, I mean, just going through the chain. So you buy bananas. Like, contrary to coffee, for example, you can still buy those like in bulk from Society's Incredible. Yes, I know. So basically, yeah, the problem was now, buy bananas. Okay, how do you do that? Well, you can take, you know, call a country in, you know, Central South America. A lot of them are even pretty positive towards you, and also fruits are actually very cheap, so you can actually buy them in bulk. Good. Okay, get them over the Atlantic. Not a problem. You can just rent some ships. Russian ones, Western ones, they both go. You could do that. Renting ships, not hard. So, now you go and you load a shit ton of fruit into your ship, and you sail it across the Atlantic. You now harbor in Lübeck. Okay, problem number one. You have old cranes. So, unloading is slow. Not really a big problem, actually. Like, you can still get it done with, you know, workforce and some old equipment. That is still not a problem. How do you get the fruits from the harbor to the people? You need refrigerated trains. Well, train cars. Problem. The Soviets took all of them. So, you can't really. You can just actually only import a few, because you have maybe some trucks. And that just kind of means you can't actually haul them around en masse. And the problem is, because again, the Soviets took your stuff, while, you know, West Germany, the Allies didn't take their stuff. It was just like West Germany could just import easier, because they just didn't have this problem of, whoops, we just don't have the trains to get it, you know, to get the stuff from Lübeck to Berlin. And so, yeah, that was a limiter. Then it's like, okay, can we build them? Technically, problem, we need to build everything else. Means, you know, we need new locomotives, we need new wagons, and so what's the priority list? Oh, we definitely need wagons for coal, we need wagons for iron, we need wagons for lumber, we need wagons for passengers, like a lot of them. Oh wow, that list of trains is long. Can we import wagons? Okay, so we are the #1 train producer in all of Eastern Europe. Oh, fuck, that's a problem. So, no. Can we buy them from Western countries? That would make problems. No. Oops. And this is how the East Germany got stuck with the problem of not being able to import bananas while their society was spent with, look, we have bananas and you don't. And that just fucked things up. Anyway, history lesson over. Yeah, that's actually the interesting part. You're like, why didn't they just import bananas? Again, infrastructure problems. It's just literally stopped at the trains. Again, from what I know, it got better later on, but also their buying power just got worse later because, remember, the East German currency was tied to the ruble because, the USSR kind of forced that. And so their buying power was just worse. This is why, for example, with the coffee, they just traded with material goods. And that's also why, when they had trade with other Eastern European countries, it was usually hey, we need those materials. What do you need? Passenger rail stuff? Okay, we're building that right now. You can have that. Actually, an interesting thing, East Germany was one of the first countries that really invested into building double-decker trains because they just, okay, you know what, it's 0. I will stop soon because we probably still need to go and stuff, but actually it's an interesting thing. So one of the reasons why they invested into double-decker trains and why why they got so popular in Eastern Europe was simply, they looked at the problem of our passenger amount is rising. Problem, we do not have the money to upgrade our old stations. So in West Germany, they rebuilt a lot of stations and they were long. So West German trains were one floor, long trains, and this just had a lot of capacity. East Germany had we need to get a lot of people on those railways with small, low platforms with steam locomotives because they had steam and later diesel a lot because they didn't electrify a lot because again they just didn't have the means to do that until the very end. So they were okay, how do we do it? So they literally built double-decker trains that were with batteries and all that were basically refilled at before they launched and put behind the steam locomotive, and so they basically had trains that could fit small platforms, still being pulled by non-electric stuff, and had pretty good passenger rail for that, and that's why when Poland and everyone else in the Eastern Bloc were oh, we need new cars, and they were those are great. Let's just get them. So yeah, that's that. And fun fact, if you're driving a double-decker train by Bombardier, and we still have them around by the way, that's still the same technology because they bought up the manufacturers of those double-decker trains. And yeah. And if you ever see an electrical locomotive that's shaped like a brick, that's a GDR locomotive still. Because at the very end of the GDR, they actually electrified. We're okay, we need to build an electrical locomotive. So in the last years, they pumped out a lot of these. And, when they collapsed, the West was holy shit, those are good locomotives. And we're still using them. Anyway. That was a little bit of history lesson, and tomorrow, depending on how well it goes and if I stream, we'll see if I stream tomorrow. Next time in Nioh, I think we will actually finish the Kinky region. Wait, is it Kinky?
Very kinky.
It's Kinky. What?
Very kinky.
Yeah, it's Kinky.
Very kinky.
What is your problem with Kinky?
I have no problem with kinky. kinky.
Yeah, it's kinky region.
Yeah.
What is so funny about kinky? Chat, what does she mean? I don't get it. Anyway, yeah, tomorrow, what's going on the kinky? Oh! I mean, you get stabbed by a Yuki Onna, that's very hot.
See?
Yeah, a Ghost of Moutier next time. Maybe tomorrow? I don't know, but we will see. Have a good night and see you all around. Bye!